Great sand dunes.
Another one.
Yep. National Park. Mountains in the background. Sand dunes there. It doesn't look like much, but the way I understand it, this flat area floods. Yeah, water runs out there and the snow melt, but that thing's that sand up there is 700 feet tall. We're gonna walk up there. It just don't look like much, but I'm sure once we get halfway up, it's gonna seem a lot bigger than what it is.
Well, we're pretty high in elevation too, from coming straight out of Missouri.
Yeah, the elevation here where we're at right now is about 8,100 feet at the base, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was down there at the...
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And it said that at the Visitor Center. I don't know, here we go. About 3 miles round trip, all sand. There's not a tree in sight, except for those mountains over there. Thought it'd be interesting. Can't decide if I should have shorts on, pants on, t-shirt, long sleeve shirt.
Thanks for filling the holes you did. Fantastic. Still climbing. Still climbing.
I'm out of breath. That right there is steep. And it's loose sand. Whew. This is I gotta admit, we pulled in the parking lot and I was like, this is dumb. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It was definitely worth the extra hour and a half drive time to get here, for sure.
Yeah. I really don't know what else there is to do around here besides hike this dune. Which there's some trails over there in those mountains, I know. But yeah, I'm out of breath. Can you guys hear me breathing heavy? I'm sure you can. I'm fat and I'm from Missouri. It is an absolute gorgeous day.
It's perfect. It's clear.
Perfect temperature.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bluebird day today. It's blue skies, crisp, nice little breeze.
Super thankful.
We're almost there. We are almost there.
It's been a long time since we got to hike in 100% clear skies.
Yep.
Several years.
We're on a little bench right here on the ridge of this dune. And we're gonna go right up there and go to the top of this thing. So we're almost there. Here we go. And we start going up.
Harder over here, honey.
Yeah. You kind of move to the side. It's not tracked up and it's a lot harder. It can be a little better. But you start breaking through it.
A lot better. I wish I had a sled so I could just ride down.
Yeah, pro tip, bring a sled. About everybody's got a sled around here. God dang. I mean, this is just not easy walking up this. Woo. Oh. Oh. We got
Well, it looks like we get up there, then we just follow the ridge.
we got a lot more left than I thought we did.
Spoiler alert.
Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, oh shit, we got our face full. Make you feel like a kid again.
That is what came out of my boots. But thank God for water hoses. All right. Yesterday we never had time to talk about, review about, whatever, the Great Sand Dunes National Park. Granted, we were only there for probably total time, probably 3 hours. But it's one of those places that, you know, a day there's probably enough. I mean, there's trails and things that looked like up in the actual mountains, right next to the sand dune. That those mountains are gorgeous. So I'm sure there's probably, I know there's a road that goes up to a couple passes up there on that mountain range. But for all intents and purposes, we drove in there, stopped by the visitor center, bought stickers for rigs, and continued down to the parking area, which there's a picnic area there as well, at the Great Sand Dunes. So it would be a good spot to there is a campground there, which we didn't check it out or anything. I just saw a sign for it, but as far as the amenities they have, I have no idea. But it would probably be a decent place to, you know, to either pull in there in the morning or pull in the night before. But a guy could spend a full day there. Evidently there's a place to rent sleds, for lack of a better term.
There's ones you sit on and you slide down the sand dunes on it, or there's ones where you basically like snowboard down these sand dunes.
Yeah, I would say probably 80% of the people that were on the dunes were
Playing around with one of the two.
Yeah, they had something that they were riding, whether if it was their own or it was rented.
Yeah.
And
some people had actually snow sleds. I never seen any of those go down, but I've read that those don't work the best. So if you do choose to do that, that would be something to look into.
Yeah, anything anybody had looked like it was wooden.
Yeah.
And it's very slick on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. They it looked like they wax them like you would a skimboard in the ocean. They kept them something under them to keep them moving.
Yeah, so I think you got to rent the boards in town, which is like Blanco, I think is the town that's nearest. But it's probably still, I mean, there's a little jag from Blanco up there. It's not one of those things where if you get up there and you're like, oh, I want to rent a board, then you got to drive, I don't know, 20 minutes back to town, rent the stuff, drive back up there, which we could have done, you know, we drove by all that stuff going in, but then when we left, we were headed to
The other direction.
yeah, we were headed to the Black Canyon of the Gunnison, which is northwest of there. So we didn't go back. It would have added 45 minutes if we would have went down there, which we didn't have. And there is a little general store, restaurant thing, camp store that's gosh dang, it's not a mile probably from the park entrance.
Yeah, which they might have something.
Yeah, they you might be able to rent them there. It surprised me if you couldn't.
Yeah.
But it was pretty busy when we drove by it. But it would be a great place for kids, teenagers especially. You take teenagers out on, you know, exploring out trips like this, and sometimes you're trying to find ways to keep them entertained.
Yeah,
And,
that's not just hiking.
yeah, our 13 and 17-year-old would have been there all day
Oh,
had they been with us, and we'd have had boards.
We even seen some people that had tents set up in the dunes, and I guess they were just hanging out while their kids were playing for however long.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of the neat part about those dunes is there's not designated areas that you can and can't go. I mean, it's just a big area of sand, and I mean there's big steep dunes. I mean everywhere, and it's just you're at your own mercy of where you want to hike up, walk up, sled down, whatever. And but yeah, back on the back side of some of them dunes, down in some of the holes, there was tents set up kind of out of the wind. But there's quite a few people around there.
But it's definitely a super cool place and definitely neat to see. You know, like we said, we didn't spend a lot of time there, but I felt like we spent enough time there. We did hike up to the tallest peak of the sand dune, and it was really cool to see that perspective from the top there, looking down on everything. So
Yep.
I'm glad we went an hour and a half out of our way and got to see it. Thanks, Greg.
Yeah. Yep. So we would recommend it. I wasn't. I'll admit I wasn't real. I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know. I could take it or leave it going over there. I've seen sand dunes, you know, but I've also seen mountains, and I've seen several different ones. You know, we will on this trip, but from afar, the sand dunes were like, whatever. I mean, really, when you're at the visitor center and you're looking over there, it's really not great. You really have to hike up the dunes.
Yes.
It's a complete, even just a walk over to the base of them, it's a much more different perspective and feeling than
Just looking out from the visitor center, what you
yeah,
can see.
even from the parking lot.
Yeah.
Where you park to walk over to the dunes, you walk a pretty good ways across a big sand flat, and even just from that parking lot to the base of those dunes, it's way different.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't have to go all the way to the top of them. It's 700 feet to get to the top, and even just to kind of get halfway up there, which anybody could do, just take your time, and you'd be fine just to get in them. It's just really neat.
Yeah, you just can't appreciate their size and how expansive they are just from, you know, like say the visitor center or even the base of them looking up. It just, once you get up there, it just goes back for so far. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Definitely worth the trip if you're in the area, that's for sure.
Absolutely. See you next time.